Bow, skippity bop bam boop bow. Welcome back to Karandrin role playing. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Cracked Palantir. I am your host and game master for this episode 74 of Brise's Tale, our last one for the year. And as always, my good buddy Max is here to play Brise the Paladin. Max, say hello to the lovely people.
Hey everybody, welcome to the last episode of Karandrin
For the
year. I like doing that. Yeah.
It's all fine.
Thanks for joining us before you all embark on your holiday travels.
Yes.
And stress yourselves out enormously.
Right. And just to remind people, we'll be back on January 5th, and then we'll announce further dates when we know them. And I'll try to make a reminder announcement sometime after December 25th and let people know. And we'll put a few more dates up on the board and get back to streaming once the holidays are over. We played just a little bit off stream just to get a little bit of logistical stuff out of the way. We have Brise moved back to her quarters in the housing that Adabir and his entourage were using. They may move Brise's quarters to some other residence inside the keep just to free up that whole facility. But that's something down the road. While we were taking care of logistical things, Brise went to buy some potions, and we had off stream, we had an unexpected encounter with Jarwin, the assistant potions master at the keep that we know that was working with Kralum to produce a potion to help him escape. And so we thought we'd stop and have that conversation with you guys on board. And so, Brise has just walked to part of the keep where the potions are created and so on, and where you access potions with permission. And she, I should say, is approached by Jarwin. I clicked on the wrong button there. What am I doing? So Jarwin's a tall, older human. He's probably 6'2", 6'3", light blue eyes, light brown hair with some graying, dressed in brown robes, and he carries a black wooden staff. And he walks up to Brise in this lobby and says, "We've not been formally introduced, but I think we have a friend in common, and there was discussion of us working together. And I'm just wondering if you've reached a decision about you helping us free our mutual friend."
Yeah, so here's my idea: is we've already let Fraldrum know about this character, and that he is not necessarily a danger, but he's definitely plotting, right? Was plotting.
Yeah, he's definitely fine to pursue his own agendas.
Yeah, so I think my best course of action here is to let kind of Fraldrum take care of things. He probably knows the best way to deal with that. I'm just going to kind of play along as if nothing's wrong right here. So I would say yes. I would say there's been a little bit of a delay. Things are not progressing as quickly as we thought. But yes, I've heard your work is coming along.
It will be ready very soon, 3 days. Good. Surely you're going to give us an answer before then?
His question was whether we're working together.
Yes.
Yeah. I say, of course. It was never, I didn't know it was a question.
The last time I spoke to his lordship, he was concerned that you had not decided. That's why we had to take you on a little trip and tuck you away.
Oh, that's right. He was privy to. I forgot about that. That was okay. That was Max being forgetful.
It
So
happens
he,
sometimes.
yeah. Um, and I can say I know and rest assured that I've been convinced.
His lordship is not one to take no for an answer, if you have not already learned that.
Nod grimly. Yes.
Well, to perhaps encourage you to work with his lordship more willingly, perhaps I could provide you some potions with no cost.
That sounds acceptable. I could say I was specifically looking for a few healing potions and perhaps a potion of intangibility if you're willing to part with any of those.
Potions of intangibility are only allowed to the highest level of individual here at the keep, as they are
It's true.
extremely dangerous
Yeah.
in the hands of the unwise. We couldn't have someone breaking into Lord Algret's keep using them, for instance. That could
Extremely,
cause quite a stir.
extremely dangerous in the hands of the feminine. Sorry.
The feminine.
The female? Feminine.
But I can get you 2 each of the healing potions. Is that something
That
you're interested in?
is, yes, it's very agreeable. And then I'll buy some more if they're available. Any major healing potions.
2 is about our limit, unfortunately. We have to keep some on hand for each member of the royal household, and so they're very difficult to make. But you could purchase some of potions of normal healing if you wish.
Okay, so give me 2 for free, and then I'll say I'll buy one more normal healing.
10 gold.
Okay.
He leaves, returns. He's very watchful as he comes and goes. Is there any other questions you want to ask him? He is, he is extremely knowledgeable. But I don't know if there's a point. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking about.
And I might not see this guy again. Yet. I don't. I might, I am just curious. How did the master? I am curious. How did the master come about? Finding someone of such as yourself. What was that interaction like? See if it was similar to mine.
His vast knowledge of the arcane, particularly when it came to potions. It's difficult in his present form for him to teach spells or incantations, but a list of potions, all he has to do is narrate the recipe, and I write it down and follow the instructions.
Yeah.
He is an excellent ally. And while I don't pretend to know what use you could make of him, surely there must be something in his vast inventory of knowledge that would be beneficial to you and could improve your status here and abroad.
I just, my, just to hold my tongue. It's I don't have to tell him
No, you don't have to. Yeah, share
what
with
he
him.
thinks Crowlum is telling me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all. I can take my leave of him.
I'll see you in a few days then.
Gotcha.
Mm.
It's so funny. Like when you're making plans with a friend and like you just know it's not going to happen at that time. It's like, yeah, we'll see each other at
I'm
6
sorry.
o'clock. This
All
location.
I hear is you saying Josh. That's all I hear.
Yeah. Everyone has one friend like that.
My buddy Josh, he swear to God, like we had the Josh rule, which was 3 to 6 hours late or never. That was.
Josh, can you meet me here at 5 a.m.?
Yeah, that's
Showed up at 8.
Hey, you want to do lunch at 5 in the morning?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then
roll for me.
Oh, okay. 52.
You're a little worried that he doesn't believe you when you said, "Yep,"
Maybe made him wary. Yeah.
And so he nods to you, watches you leave, and so you didn't feel great about that exchange, about how convincing, but hopefully Fraldrum will drop the hammer on him sooner rather than later.
Okay.
So what's next on your agenda?
I think well, there's some stuff I want to do leaving the keep, but we'll hold off on that. So I'm looking here. I believe I do have one thing. So the is I don't know if this would have been taken care of before, but if you remember Ichar, the captain of the gate guard, who we now for Arnians know is in league with a cult that follows the Iron Empress. He lent me that shield banner, and I was supposed to return it upon coming back to the keep, but obviously my return to the keep was kind of an emergency.
Right. It was it happened under unusual circumstances.
Right. So I don't know if I wouldn't have returned it to him. I would have kept it. So I don't know if we just want to say.
We can say that he sent an envoy to get it from you.
Okay.
In one of your more lucid moments.
Yeah.
But certainly there is, regarding the cult that apparently has arisen around the Iron Empress. It's unnerving that Ichan Ichar, excuse me.
Yeah.
Ichar is now part of that deal. Maybe that I need to get Ichar a caption up here.
Yeah.
We may be dealing with him more than we really want to, but there you go. Do you need to send a note to Fraldrum expressing, hey, I was approached by Jarwin, if you're going to, we're supposed to, you're supposed to, you need to let her know that in 2 or 3, in 3 days, he's expecting you to, appear with Crowlum and.
Yeah. One concern I have about that is how much he's, tapped into any of the goings on about the keep. Might be better to tell her directly, next time I see her.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if, is there a way you could write it in such a way that.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of know where to find her if I really.
You do. You do. Yeah, you can go check on that.
Alternatively, would it be wise to tell that to Mia Girl directly? She could tell Fraldrum of that. I don't know.
That's going to be something that she's not going to handle, right? She
Right.
needs to
And then
find
now
that.
she has to tell her underling to do that.
Right.
That would make sense not to go up the chain of command like that.
Right.
So, well, there's still time. I think I'll talk to Fraldrin before 3 days. So I will, I'll make a note, if I don't talk to Fraldrin tomorrow, then I'll send her a note.
Okay. So then, does it?
Yeah, I think so. Now I'm going to go back to my quarters and let's just prepare, for being before me and Raw. Let's make sure I'm
Let's do
looking
what?
nice. To what's that?
No, that's what I was asking you. What did you say?
Prepare to, have an audience with the lady Mia Grawl. So
Just get dressed nicely and just pass the day in case you're
yeah.
summoned.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so you just basically pamper yourself. Have them draw you a bath. You check over your clothes for anything that needs to be mended, so that you can send it out to be mended. Um, um, and it's a pleasant time because you're just have you have an enormous burden off your shoulders. This is time you can take to yourself.
Right.
So
I don't have to worry about rats approaching me while I'm in the bath.
right, exactly. If they approach you, it's merely a matter of hygiene, not a matter of not a matter of danger or intrigue.
Demonic involved. I don't know which is worse, the keep being unhygienic or finding a demon in your bathroom.
That's right.
But yeah, we just spend the hours relaxing.
Modify these captions. So much has happened now, right? My captions are out of date, right? Because
Right.
the descriptions don't. Um, um,
Yeah, I remember when Adabir died and you changed to the past tense. Was a wizard.
yes, yes.
He did know a lot about.
Looking at my captions, I'm reminded of, in terms of like, what your next steps are. I'm reminded of the Unmouth.
Yes, and
That
that is kind of one of the next big places I do want to explore. And yeah, it's just been hard because every time I want to go explore it, it's going to be like, well, I'm going to need to take probably a week. Maybe it might be a while till I get back to the surface. So
right,
I haven't had that chance.
Right. So the day passes sort of uneventfully. You really sort of fall back into old practices of your wealthy domestic life. You find yourself, having the kitchen make you sweets, and you eat them, in one of the sitting rooms by the fire, and if you want to get some reading done on either your on any of your magical books or on any of
read
your
my book on
topics.
the Fae, which is a one.
Yeah, you stick with it for about an hour before your impatience and attention span pull you away from it. Aldrich appears at the end of his workday. No word from Mia Grawl yet.
Okay.
You guys have an excellent evening. He is wondering, given everything that is happened now, if it might be time to send word to your parents that maybe you two have a future together.
Um, I probably would have told him I don't have parents.
Well,
Or maybe have I not told him this yet then?
I mean, yeah, you probably would have, but your family, whoever's going to
Okay,
speak
okay,
to
that's what he
you,
means.
yeah,
He just says that, and I just like
start
animated.
crying.
Like, oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
The
yeah,
background just like fades to black.
right.
Okay. Um. How do I? I think I probably feel,
We'll roll for it. Let's see.
good about that. Yeah, I know I'm a little shaky with my sisters and brothers. I'm 50.
But you've certainly had nothing but good feelings from
Right.
him. He's
How
weathered. Again,
it's funny to remember Karandrin time, right? I felt like I've been with this guy for like 2 years in terms of playtime, but was it
right?
about a month and a half, I think, or a month?
Yeah, well, no, more than a month.
Yeah. I'm like,
But obviously, it can't be more than. It can't be a lot more than that because it's
right. But yeah, no, that feels like a good amount of time to be like, yeah, let's it's let the family know. So yeah, that sounds good. Tell him that's a splendid idea.
So he's going to compose a letter to his parents saying that things are progressing. And
Things are progressing.
that's right. That's as romantic as he can be. That's it. He's a tailor. What do you want? He's not a poet.
Welcome, Quinn. He's telling me I've killed Attaboy, Bowflex, which I'm assuming is Nalkarth, and that gooey spider crab thing. I don't know what that is. That could be any number of creatures.
I think I'm always on Brise's list to murder. That's what I think. Every time I see Max like out and about, like he's always got a gun. It's just weird. I don't know. I don't know if that's indication.
The Iron Maiden.
Right.
Can't get the names just quite right.
That's Quinn's O2 stats dropping is what that is. The lack of O2 to the brain. He gets names wrong. So
get some more O2 going there.
That's right.
More dioxygen.
I'm trying this new adapter, right? This new Ethernet adapter for my computer because we kept having problems with dropping off and so on. And so I've had one alert already about it dropping off, but you didn't comment on me freezing or anything. So I don't know. It may just be the setup here.
You seem pretty stable, yeah.
So we'll just keep playing around with it, and you guys let us know if you see.
I've got the video live, and you're still moving and talking.
Or as dangerous as that seems.
Do.
So he takes leave of you. You basically go to bed. We're on the 22nd now. Is that right? The morning of the 22nd. That's what we're rolling for.
Yes.
So. All right, do your 3 rolls.
You got a 25.
No illness.
A 66.
Wake up at a normal time.
So I die.
That's right.
And a 43.
43. So no dreams of any real impact that you remember. So yeah, you wake up with the dawn. There's a note under your door. That mid-morning you will be escorted to a meeting with Lady Miagral.
Oh, good to know. So yeah, we'll just do the morning as normal, bathing and breakfast and all that.
Right.
Uh,
So things, yeah, I mean, things just progress. There's no other, you don't have anything else on tap that I have.
not in the keep. So we'll, I could always go do some more spear throwing, but let's not do that. Let's not get sweaty before I need to
Right.
talk. Evil. It is funny kind of role playing this. You just kind of like, it's a lot of just sitting and waiting for people more important and more powerful than me to.
Until you're out actually swinging a sword, and then it's,
Yeah. We will be soon. Don't worry, everybody.
that's true.
Reese will be injuring herself very soon against all manner of creatures.
That's right. There's, yeah, and we're all, the game master included, we're all interested in where Brise is going next. If she's going to wrap up the Four Wells, if she's going to take a bigger excursion to the Unmouth, if she's going to pursue one of the locations on the map that Verlag provided. There's a lot of there's
still need to give me that map. You said you.
I know I've still got to draw that thing. It's actually my number one priority on my Affinity Designer. I just got to get to it. I got to shake these headaches and this stupid insomnia. I had 38 hours of insomnia this past week. Meaning didn't sleep for 38 hours.
Well, that's so much time to get stuff done.
It is. If I could focus, I would totally do it. It would be great. I've had insomnia like that where, like, yeah, I can focus fine, so I'll work. Why not? You know, that's lovely. But man, this other stuff. Oof. Yeah, so the time comes, you kind of are too nervous kind of to try to read or anything. A small sort of very formal guard of honor is at the front door. Maid summons you, walks you down, and you are walked in a small sort of parade of honor. Right, there's 4 guards in front, dressed in higher regalia, 4 in back.
Hope HR's seeing this.
That's right. Better be paying attention, yo. And you come up to they lead you to the steps of the main keep. There is a gathering there of servants and guards. Fraldrum is off to the side and standing, and she's cleaned herself up, which she usually doesn't do. She's usually quite untidy. And she's, smiling kind of happily. There's a guard holding an object on a pillow. Roll for me.
98.
It is a flail. So they lead you up to the stairs, to the foot of the stairs, and they stop at the foot of the stairs. You're sort of, you're stood in the middle of these groups of, a 4 in front, 4 in back. And Miagral says to the gathered, she says, Brise, a young woman, a stranger among us, came into my keep as a guest and has served admirably for the defense of this realm and for the well-being of my people. Never let it be said that a stranger cannot soon become a friend, and never let it be said that this court is ever ungrateful. Brise, approach. And the guard in front separates and then turns to, face the walkway, to face each other. You go up, I assume.
Yes.
She turns, and the gentleman holding the flail on the pillow presents it to her. She takes the flail out. You're like, wow, she's stronger than she looks if she can move that thing around. It is etched with various scenery of castle walls, vine covered. On there is a river scene on the other where boats play up and down the river. The jewel, there's a large blue jewel set in the pommel. And she lays it in your hands. It is plus 15 substance, plus 15 magic.
Gosh.
1/4 weight.
Whoa. Whew. That's why she could lift it.
That's why she could lift it.
Wow. Okay. I thank her deeply for her generosity and her graciousness.
She sort of takes your hands in hers, and she's like, Fraldrum has described that your service to this realm has been of literally indescribable value. And now that I understand its full measure and the threat that was upon you, know that you are always a friend in this county and in my realm.
A good sense of how much of that's like bravado and how much is kind of coming from her. I know she's hard.
Not saying it loudly.
Oh wow, just to me. Okay.
She steps back, addresses the gathering, and says, rejoice for another friend of the realm. And everyone applauds, and you get some of the goblin howling that is one of their means of gratified noise making. And always cracks you up because they sound like kind of silly wolves,
Oh.
And so you bow to the assembly, and
not expecting such a reception.
And she dismisses everyone. She turns and goes. Fraldrum approaches you. I guess I got to throw up Lady Meagral while we were doing this, but oh, look at that. Yeah, that subtext is now wrong. I have to modify that. So the Fraldrum comes up to you and kind of gives you a squeeze. She's she has to look up at you and give you a little squeeze on the arms, and she says, well, I hope that was fitting. Um,
It was. I'm glad the lady has a good heart. It seems.
as cold as it can be sometimes, it is not without warmth.
Mhm.
Um, so,
I'll tell her. I do. Uh, can't refuse your offer of pledging my loyalty to her. So do consider me a permanent resident of the keep.
excellent. I will let her ladyship know. We'll find you more permanent accommodations. We'll get you some space with sitting with a sitting room, and um,
Okay.
of course you'll have all the benefits and obligations of those of us who live here.
Right on.
So
Next day they get like invaded.
that's right. You're fighting on one of those annoying bridges in Ballabry that makes the trek
Yeah.
up the town.
She says, "Well, now you have to memorize the layout of Ballabry."
That's right. You're like, well, the residents do, otherwise they'd never get anywhere.
Yeah.
Um, so
And I do slip in as well, and of course, in terms of it wouldn't be, uh, you know, the business never seems to end. Just want to know that Jarwin is, uh, assume you're taking hopefully swift measures to deal with him. He still thinks I'm involved in a plan with Kralum that's to be executed in 3 days from now.
well, actually now 2 days.
2 days, right?
Indeed. So he has not figured out that Kralum is freed. Well, then, I don't want to dash his hopes. So, and you guys are just sort of walking, when she's watching who's listening and that sort of thing. She says, it's going to be important for me to keep an eye on him.
Okay.
So that we can see if Verlag, having now returned, Kralum, having now returned to his realm, has enough power
True.
to contact him.
True. To continue what's going on.
So I will handle that. But here's the part you need to play. You need to act as though you have known all along that I too am an ally of Kralum's.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I don't know how I can approach him and still be able to monitor him. Our other alternative is to dispose of him. But that doesn't get me the answer I want.
Right. I see how it's more important keeping him an ally.
It's more important to find out what Kralum is able to do.
Right. Right.
Once we know if, after, say, a month of watching, if Kralum hasn't made contact, then we may consider the matter closed and maybe we simply dismiss Jarwin. If Kralum does make contact, then we know that Kralum can contact people in this world,
Right.
and we can't have a spy of his operating here.
Right. On to ascertain abilities. So, then I need to think about. I guess I'll assume there's some delays, in what's going on, and be surprised if he has not. Kralum has not contacted him. Then I'll have to feign that. Okay. But also I'll bring Fraldrum into it. Would that not? I guess that should work. I mean, he would be suspicious of Fraldrum, but there's no other choice. Yeah.
I mean,
I get. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could always he could always use one. She could always use one of her apprentices or something like that.
Right.
But I don't think. I think she would rather do it herself.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know.
I'm just working through how it's going to look. So yeah, probably next I'll have to meet him when the time comes.
And I should
Or
say,
maybe I should meet him before.
she'll approach him. I left off a part of the plan like an idiot. So she'll approach him, say, "Hey, I've been co-opted into this plan. I'm an ally as well.
Right.
You should not expect to see him in his right form. We were able to free him using another plan."
Oh, I see.
Um,
Okay, that makes sense. So then I can prep him for that.
right. Well, so you will be off the hook, basically.
Right.
But Fraldrum says he may approach you for some task that he has concocted that might please Kralum based on what he knows about Kralum's goals.
Right.
If you should receive such a request, then come find me immediately.
Right. So that way he doesn't have to come to me. He can go directly to Fraldrum. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And we can evaluate what he wants you to do.
So I'm going to make a note that I just need to talk to him probably tomorrow or later today.
You probably don't need to talk to him at all. Fraldrum is going to go handle that. Say Kralum is free, and I'm an ally, so don't worry.
Okay.
And we were able to free Kralum.
If she can convince him of all that, then that's fine.
I mean, it's either she convinces him or you try, right? And which would you rather do?
But I'm the pretty one.
You are the pretty one.
I've got the face. She's the brains. I'm the look.
Exactly. That's right. You're the charmer.
Okay, no, that's fine. So I just need to play the part, like she said.
Right. You need to, if someone, well, not if someone mentions, preferably if Jarwin happens to come across you or approaches you and says, I know that, makes mention that Fraldrum is also an ally, right? Then don't act surprised.
Right. I'm just adding it to my list of goals here. Just keep in mind.
Yes.
Which is frankly very many bullet points long. Although slightly reduced now.
Yes.
Verilag is a picture. Certain ability. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, as we're talking and walking, I understand that and keep that in mind.
She asked, just as you're sort of taking the air at the keep, right? She asks if you do have any plans for the future. I'm sure you want to continue your travels and so on. Yes. And your duties here should be only intermittent.
Right. Yeah. So, I say just still have many things to explore, and now I can actually not take more of a risk, but I can explore a little more freely now. And also continuing to, speak with Aldruff and court him, or he's courting me. I guess we're courting each other, right? That's the term.
Right.
It's good that he's here and is enjoying the work here.
You are both well positioned, from what I heard. No.
Well positioned. Back to the four wells. We'll make that our honeymoon. Why? It's just like the wind blowing, like ruffling. Why did you take us here?
Have you ever asked Fraldrum? I want to say maybe you have. You'd have to search your notes because God knows I couldn't remember. But have you ever asked Fraldrum about the Unmouth?
That's a good question. Search Unmouth. I know I've asked people about it. Someone is very familiar with the Unmouth. Who is this? Oh, that was Prethnot. Prethnot told me who the Aberrine are. What are they called again? The Aberrine.
Oh, that's the large insectoid
centipede-like.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever asked her about the Unmouth, or she said she doesn't know anything, and I didn't write it down.
Well, that's one of those things, right? Blank versus zero. You want to write down.
It does matter, but I might not.
So. Do you wish to do so now, or are you going to leave it for another time?
Might as well. While we're walking, one place I've been trying to explore for a time now, but just haven't gotten a chance. You've heard of it. Describe it in some brief details.
Sure.
Fashion.
She knows of it. She's never been. One of the more curious political dealings she has uncovered in her operating in the desert empires. You have the Pin clans and you have the Gravita Empire. Those are the two in that harsh desert area.
Right.
That there is supposedly some sort of alliance between the Gravita Empire and some kingdom within the Unmouth. And it's been one of her goals to try to sort of uncover what that is, because it could represent a significant threat to the balance of power there.
Right.
And she would at least like to know what to expect.
Gravita 2Vs or 2Ds, or I forget.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I think it's 1V and 2Ds.
You are correct.
But I put a V instead of an Oh man. That's not nice.
So
I wonder if have you ever heard of the term like TOS, terms of service? And people use that at like streamers, especially like, oh, I don't want to break TOS or forget TOS. When you break, you say like a certain word on stream or you act a certain way. The private chat here, we something happened. Get TOS from calling me an idiot with 2 Ds.
That's right. We use the private chat to avoid all TOS issues, and
exactly.
And if that doesn't work,
doing racial slurs in the.
That's right. And if that doesn't work, that's just TS.
TS term service.
No, TS is tough shit.
Tough shit. I wish I knew all these trendy acronyms. Anyway, so we asked Fraldrin about the Unmouth. That's what she tells me. Okay.
Do you see Quinn? You see Quinn?
Yeah, a nice lake.
That's right.
It's funny to think about if I did free Verilag again, could I take her? Now that she doesn't have demonic power backing her, she's just a powerful sorceress.
You've got a flail that'll certainly help.
I do. Okay.
All
it's also interesting to think of that. Could she even be freed now because her power is so much weaker? Is the seal now strong enough that
I mean, they sealed her when she was full powered.
Right.
There's no way she's good. I mean, it would take something happening to the prison externally.
Right. Because the thing about Kralm has been using his power for centuries to
Right.
try to escape / keep himself alive. So she's been doing the same in her prison,
Right.
I think.
Um,
But okay. So then, if nothing else, then I'll go back to my keep and or go back to my quarters. And yeah.
so that is handled. Um, what do you? It's not going to be long before lunch, but that's neither here nor there. What? Um, um,
So there's in town. I would like to go stalk out the stalk out. I might have just made that expression up.
that
I
is
would
an
like to
interesting
go.
turn of phrase. Yeah.
Yeah, go check out Anlib the winemaker's house. Like Fraldrum said, investigating just around the area if there's any guards posted.
Oh, I
Um,
see. And then check it again at night.
yeah, just kind of scout it maybe a few times throughout the day and in the
Yeah,
evening
just pass by.
to get a feel of what kind of protections they have there, how well guarded it is.
Right.
Um, so I do have directions to there from, um, oh, what was his name? Bergen?
Oh,
From the halfling who was also in the healing ward with me.
Bengar. Bengar.
Bengar. I got them mixed up. GNR. So yeah, we can grab my horse and head into town and
So
use
let's
a.
talk about. So, I mean, are you going to take your adventuring gear as well, so that because you're
So
dressed nicely
yeah,
right now, right? I mean,
yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll definitely use a potion of face change, and might as well take up all my gear as well. Look like just like an anonymous adventurer, um, and probably yeah, that should be good.
I know it's a little early, but it is a decent little time for a break if you
Yeah,
want.
shift the action. I think let's do that.
So, all right. So we're gonna take a break, stretch our legs, and get some beverages. We hope you do the same, and we'll be back in just a few minutes, and then we'll return with Bree scouting out what maybe the headquarters for a cult for the Iron Empress.
Mhm.
And so, what I should do is just before we leave, I can pop up the Iron Empresses. There we go. Um, um, pop up her caption. So, guys, just hang with us for a few minutes and we'll be right back and we'll see what Brees learns about this cult, if anything. So, we'll be right back.
Stick around. Welcome back, folks. That's really funny.
Nothing like messing with my buddy Max. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. So, yeah, we've got Brise setting out to go and examine the home of a wealthy winemaker in town. Would you check your notes? Would you see if you got a description about this woman?
Yes, I will check, although I don't think I have one. Van Leb, residence of Van Leb, the winemaker. All I know is that she's a good friend of Mia Grall's, and she's a winemaker. So I don't have any description of her person or character other than that.
Okay.
She's 13 years old.
Okay.
I guess you could be in this era. Young.
She would, yeah. I mean, she would have. She would probably be betrothed by this point.
Yeah,
at age 12 or 13.
It's fun to think about.
If Obi-Wan was on the stream tonight, which I don't expect to see Obi-Wan tonight, but if she were on, she could tell us all about ancient Hebrew, like betrothals and all that kind of stuff. And so we were talking about that the other night about this custom.
That is like an ironic thing. Like back then, it's like that was like, wow, you're married at a young age, you're going to be like set for life. It's great. Now today, especially like American ideals, it's like the worst thing that could happen to you. You know,
right?
Really interesting how that's changed over time. Short time too. You know, just a couple, probably 100 years.
Right. Yeah. The idea of childhood, you know, didn't. Oh, sorry, adolescence. Like adolescence didn't exist.
Right.
Oh, well, 100 years ago, it was probably just beginning to form, but it's really closer to. Well, no, it was probably 120 years ago. It was beginning to form, but it's only the need for extended education that it ever.
Right. That really drove that. Yeah. Yeah. There's no other real need. You know, after 14, you can kind of do anything you want. You'll do it stupidly, but you'll be fine.
It's hilarious. I just wrote this caption and then left off the oh Lord, what have I done? Did I just delete the caption? Oh Lord of God.
Oh, you're too drunk, Kevin.
Oh man, this is what I get for. All right, well, we're gonna have to wait on that then. Son of a! I think I deleted that whole thing. All right, now who's the idiot? So, all right, so like, go through your gear and make sure you're not leaving anything behind that you need.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know, I know you're gonna just toss it in the bags of holding, and then you know, which is fine, but I don't.
Right, and I've got that mark. Actually, I do have a question for you here. How many flails can I have at my belt?
I mean, they would take up a slot, right? And you know,
yeah, right.
And I wouldn't.
I've already got daggers at my belt, and I've got one flail equipped.
I wouldn't expect you would need to have more than one at your belt.
Right. So I will probably have to choose, because you know, I guess I don't. You know, it's like, okay, this is the gift Mia Grall got me. That's nice, but I do have a better flail already. So the flail of fairness is plus 25 magic and gives me plus 10 for each when I'm facing multiple opponents. So
right.
And it can make more than one parry if I'm facing more enemies. So I think I'll keep that one, and I'll keep Mia Grall's flail in bag of holding. And then we'll. I've got it marked what I'm taking with me in that. So
now, in terms of dress, you're maintaining your sort of town clothes?
Oh no, that's adventuring gear.
Because I don't want you don't want to be walking by the nicer areas of town fully armed.
Oh, I did not think about that. Okay.
If someone catches you scouting out a place, paying particular attention to a place, and fully armed, you're going to get arrested.
That's true. I mean, I remember it was a town of goblins, but I forgot there is parts of town that are probably nicer where I'm headed to. So okay, let's scratch that. I'll you know.
I mean, you can have all your gear with you, but I wouldn't wear it for the scouting.
Yeah. Well, in that case, we'll have my bag of holding with me, right? But I'll still be wearing my town clothes, and and just my potions with me as well. The potion
Right.
belt, but not wearing it.
Um,
Or I guess I could wear it, under, at my belt is still.
well, and you may decide to, like, you could put a dagger, like tie it to, your dress is going to be down to your feet, right?
Right.
So you could choose one of your daggers, put it at your at your
Yeah.
at your ankle.
I already have that noted, like my town clothes. I had it somewhere on the sheet. My town clothes always have a dagger down there hidden. So that's
And then you'll want to wear a cloak, even though you're hiding, you're going to disguise your face. You
right,
probably want to wear.
because change the face, but I can have the cloak over and keep it more anonymous. So we will do that. Cloak with my town clothes, bag of holding, and potions pouch. And normal other stuff I'd wear in my belt, small pouch and all that.
Now, is your thought to go to the adventuring guild, get a room, and then like unload, except for your dagger and your cloak, right, and your actual town clothes?
Yeah, that's
And
a good
then,
idea. Actually, then I could just be close by. Yeah.
right, you would just be, you won't have to make, because it's a couple hours to make it up the mountain pass to the
True.
thing, and then you can just crash at the, you can crash at the thing. Oh, and when is your adventurer returning with news about?
They are going to different towns. They didn't give me a date. They said they accepted it, but they didn't give me a date.
I guess they would have left today. I think is what their note said. Is they left you today, and
Sure. Yeah.
they're gonna get back to you, right? So I need to leave myself a note regarding that.
Roll to see if they live.
That's right.
They send me a note back. It's like, hey, I found this lake, and I think I've awakened some evil sorceress. It's like, oh my god.
I was asking around. I thought this lake looked informative.
This
Um,
lake looked-
It's the most well-informed lake I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So roll to navigate down to the to Malabry.
That's a 6. Is this Ballery? This is Convergence. What are you talking about?
Exactly. I've wandered several hundred miles off course. Well, maybe 150 miles. Hmm.
What is it? Dragon attack me? What are you rolling for?
It's yeah, it was an encounter in your time in the thing before you make it back. So you're lost. You're working around trying to get your bearings again to make it back to get to the adventuring guild.
Right.
And there is a goblin girl, goblin child, who's you realize has been following you, and you're trying to keep an eye on her, and she eventually runs past and she kind of looks you full in the face and pulls up short and says in goblin to you, "Ma'am, would you be Brise?"
Well, I say Yes. My what is it that you need from me? I have Nalani, by the way, just perched, on any nearby rooftop and look to her and look around, see anything suspicious.
Um, yeah, she, hops up a little higher, and you sort of say yes, and then take a moment to let her watch.
Hmm.
Nothing really going on, just everyday town stuff. People unloading wagons, people talking, old men playing checkers on the street. I mean, it's everyday town stuff. She says, "Me and some other lads and lasses were paid to find you." And the fella who paid us, he'd like to speak to you. His name is Oshekra. He said you'd know the name.
Okay, I
Roll for
do.
me.
29.
Not very bright today. So she gestures. How far away is he? A bit of a trot.
You know what?
It's going to be close to dark as you.
I know I rolled a 29, but my suspicion is I think Oshakra has other ways of finding me than paying little goblin girls to try to hunt me down in the streets.
Well, there might be other ways of finding you. Yes.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, there are
I'll
definitively other ways of finding you.
I know. He ran off on a magic sled last time. Obi-Wan Karen is here and she sends a very dark looking emoji that I can't go to YouTube to see. It's a spider. Oh,
For Oshakra.
it's
That's funny. I got nothing. Mine is blank.
on the restream interface. It's like gray on blue. It's not not a good contrast.
So
So I keep my wits about me, but I'm
sure.
sure I'll speak with him.
I mean, you don't really have a reason. I mean, who is gonna set you up, but with luring you with
Right,
a
right,
shack?
and that's what's odd, But
Yeah.
I think that's me just metagaming because you told me to roll. I'm like, okay, so I'll go pay him a visit. I'm on my horse, follow her along.
So she just runs and skips and so on, and you actually have to get to a trot and it takes you a bit. He is though headed toward the nicer part of town, but you've not found you've not been able to make all your preparations anyway. So
But is the girl herself, like nicely dressed, or is she?
no, street urchin.
Yeah.
So she takes you to a outside of a pub, and it's a well-to-do pub. There's there's several carriages parked outside and so on. And she takes you not inside the pub, which is sort of like where you're angling just already, right? Like I'm just gonna I'll park the horse and but no, she doesn't go that way. And you swing wide, go around the other horses and carriages, and she takes you to a carriage, a very well-appointed carriage that is off by itself. Um, and she pops up onto the carriage and she says, "Here she is, Mister." And Schecter's hand comes out and drops a few copper into her waiting palm, and then off she runs.
And gives her a tap on the chin with his little spider leg.
That's right. Oh, you're so pretty.
Oh my god.
I guess I need to do a caption for Oshekra, although, given my luck with captions tonight, freaking deleting them as I'm typing them.
Oh my gosh.
So
okay, I'll find a place, tie my horse, and
sure.
Step on in.
He sees you coming. He he opens the carriage door for you, and you see that he's just because he's a big guy, and basically this is a carriage is a very nice way to hide his unusual um, physicality down below.
Usual mobility.
Right. And so he has this enormous blanket over his lap, and it covers all of the mechanical parts of him below. And he's clearly got food and beverage from the pub.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a makeshift table that folds down. He's got several beer steins that are empty and so on.
Right.
And there are guards around. Your guess is one of the desert nations is looks like their coloration and their physiognomy. Very hard, dangerous looking men, but dressed to a T. I mean, yes, they are clearly guards, but they're clearly been given a very polished, high-end look. They wear a uniform. While there's no symbology to it, you're talking about silver buttons, and you're talking about, I forget what the shoulder adornments are called, but epaulets, that's it. And and they are cagey, and they're watching everything. So he shuts the door, and he says, I'm lucky to have caught you in town. It would have been much harder to catch you in the keep. I have heard word that we are victorious and the threat ceases to exist. You must feel excellent about that.
Yes. The word you hear is true.
So, what I need from you, and I am willing to pay quite handsomely, is I need directions to Verlag's prison.
Okay. Interesting. I ask what plans do you have? Well, I would say there's a prison she has no chance of ever escaping. What plans do you possibly have for that?
You see, I had the same thought. That she must be a shadow of her former self.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a prison that successfully held her for thousands of years. So it would be valuable to know how to put other people in that prison who are a threat to the world.
Roll for how I feel about that. 38.
Okay. Roll again.
79.
The idea itself is not an illegitimate one, you feel.
Right.
But there's no way that's what he wants it for.
Okay. Well, I'll try to deflect. And just say
roll for me. I should let you have a chance to draw.
63.
The first thing that comes to mind is, yes, if you know how to operate the prison, you can imprison anybody you want in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So any powerful magic user that's in his way.
Right. Opposes him.
Yeah.
And knowing him, he for our audience, we know Shakra has a history of trying to get his way when when he wants it. So, I start off just saying something that important seems like it should, go before the entire council of the wise, shouldn't it? Seems like everyone could benefit from that. Maybe
I have considered that, but let's say, for instance, that she was 10 times the strength of any one of us. That means that prison at maximum could hold only 8 or 9 more individuals.
That's an interesting logic to assume, but
well, I mean, he can't. I mean, if he's honestly wanting to use the prison, then he can't overload it.
No, I know, but I just he's making assumptions about how that stuff works. How all those.
Well, you don't know that he's making assumptions. He may have.
I suppose I don't know. I just know that type of magic is, must be rare and must be arcane, not in in all senses of the word. So, I would. Well, let him keep going. I don't mean to interrupt him. Just
sure. He says it's not a matter to debate among this council or any other which 8 or 9 individuals need to go in. It's a small matter. Besides, I am most eminently qualified in unlocking the secrets of the prison. And all I need from you is its location.
I am curious. Is how do you know so much of what this prison could do?
I have studied some of the things before, and while they are rare, some of the principles run continuously throughout. This is clearly a prison of the spirit, not a physical prison. It takes the individual's soul and imprisons it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I can learn to unlock it safely, open it, and cast in some ne'er-do-well of great power.
Well, I guess I should just be frank with him, right? I'll say, Oshakra, I don't think that's the only thing you have in mind here. If you were, well, I just say that, I don't think you're giving me the full story.
Well, consider the advantages I could grant you if I were your ally.
Mm.
And he takes out a small chest, and sets it out with a loud clank and opens it up. And there is gold and mithril and gems in there.
I like Quinn's comment. I think that's a good idea. I know a prison you could go to. Bo Jackson's prison. Oh. Okay, well that's quite a handsome offer. But I'm not. Brise is not someone that's really tempted by treasure and riches. So I say I that's something that knowledge is too dangerous to warrant any amount of treasure. For
Well, then name your price. Maybe it is not gold and riches.
Okay. now it might be. Now Brees might be tempted. No, I don't.
There are rare items.
It's a difficult thing. I know Shekra is, doesn't have. He does mean well, but he does have. Looking through my notes here, he's threatened me before, and told to be wary of him. Has been known to contact demons. Okay, no, I don't. No, it's no good.
You don't think you would be tempted at all?
I think I would be, but I don't. Just a moral conundrum, Is there something that's worth it? But you see, it's more of like I would want to know what he, was actually going to use it for, right? Because I would feel like I'm giving away that. So I guess it would tell him that it's like I can't name a price if I don't know what I'm giving up, what you're going to actually utilize, what ideas you have for this this dark prison.
He closes the little chest, locks it, sets it back under, reaches under the seat, pulls out a bag, clearly of holding because he pulls out thing after thing after thing. He just passes object after object to you.
Oh my gosh. Oh. So this is where it becomes like, how much he's willing to give up for it, which means it's something extremely important and makes the decision even harder.
Well, I mean, this is a transaction.
Yeah.
And so,
you can name one or two of the things he passes to me, I suppose, for context. See how much he's willing to give up. I mean, okay. Brise does have a price. If he's willing to, oh my God. Okay.
So the dagger he passes you a dagger. It's very ornate.
Oh.
It is plus 25 substance, plus 25 magic. It casts lightning bolt 4 times a day.
If
that bag is full.
Oh my gosh. Okay. He could, I think something that Brise would be willing to exchange for is something with the Cult of the 9 Stars, if he could help me out with that information, right? That would be something that's a little more out there, has the possibility of, angering some people, but assuming he'd be willing to, I guess I would just ask him for knowledge related to it, or any for him to obtain any information related to
it. Quinn,
don't tell him.
Quinn is ready to make a deal. That is hilarious.
I know those items are tempting. Brise's moral compass, though, is she's a paladin. Can't go up that easily.
Oh my God, that's so funny. The Cult of the 9 Stars.
Yes. If you're willing to help me out with that, I might be willing to tell you the information you need.
He takes the dagger off your lap and puts it back in his bag. And he says, "What would you like to know?"
Okay. 30,000 Karandrin points. That seems a little excessive.
It does seem excessive.
How about 27,000? That's
You can cut it by 10%. Inflation is a bitch. Yes.
yeah. And invest that in the right place, and in 4 years you'll have $1 million.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's worth less than the paper it's written on. Huh? Hmm?
All right. Now I need to pull up Brise's character sheet to read about the Cult of the Nine Stars and remember what I know about it. And
28,500 final offer.
quite the haggler. So we know that the Society of the Nine Stars believes essentially that spellcasting is the birthright of every sentient being, and that all that magic should be accessible to all intelligent life, but we've lost that natural ability. And so I am searching for any traces of the magical sites specifically that would be keys to unlocking that potential again. So, I would ask him, if he knows of any of the magical sites that are rumored, where they're located. That should lead to that are associated with it.
My dear, I know all of them.
Wait, okay.
Roll for me.
Yeah. 13.
You don't know whether he's telling the truth or not.
I just have to ask him. It's like, what proof do you have?
"25 years ago, I began investigating them after I encountered an individual too close to my private residence. And with some persuasion, he informed me about your little cult. Intrigued, I took his information and some various texts I stole from various temples and began researching this little story of his. The cult did relatively well for a number of years and had prominent individuals among its members. But the truth about the cult is going to upset you and its members. In addition,
Oh my gosh.
what they couldn't know, they couldn't make, what I'm trying to say, when their beliefs proved not to be all that they thought they were, they did their very best to make them come true. So,
Are you going to tell me Santa's not real 5 days away from Christmas, Kevin?
I can tell you that based on the research the cultists were pursuing, they were hoping to produce a global spell that would make it true and would unlock magical abilities for everyone. There are not 9 sites. There's more than a dozen.
Mm.
There's one major site in every major elven city and every major city in Theaxia. And there are a few lesser known sites that I can only assume were meant to rise in prominence and were never really built to fruition.
Blowing my mind now. I feel like I should roll again to see how much he's
No, I
streaming
think
along, or
you've had your roll, I'm
just
afraid.
absorbed. Okay, that's fine. That's fair enough.
I have their locations marked on every city map that they're located in. The lesser ones, I didn't bother with.
And so I asked, what has become of them in the plan?
Oh, we don't get that far in this conversation, now do we? What we get to is I teleport us to a city you name, and then you teleport us to the lake prison. I can't believe this turn of events.
Can you just tell me the number you rolled to see if you knew anything about the 9 stars?
No, because that would be revealing, wouldn't it?
Oh, okay. That's true. It would tell me if he's how much he really knows. Okay. Well, I
can't. I mean, you opened this door, and I can't imagine you're going to shut the door.
I know. I have to play Brise's character, right? This is like her faith. This is like what she believes in. And it's like, is it worth it teleporting him directly to the prison? Because I know I could.
Why don't you roll and see how well you remember?
That's true as well, and to teleport far enough away from it that it doesn't trigger anything. 24.
I mean, it was one of the most interesting sites you came across in your early days of adventuring.
Right.
Not that you aren't still in your early days of adventuring, but it's possible you think that because of those slabs on the ground,
right,
and because of those giant skeletons with giant weapons,
yes, it's very distinctive.
Those are very distinctive in your mind, that you could, in all likelihood, teleport him there.
Lake prison. I guess the other alternative is he doesn't teleport me to a city, and I tell him where the prison is, and then we call it even. But I don't know how Brise even feels about that.
I mean, he knows that you're a limited magic user.
Right.
So you name a city suggests that you'll be within teleport range. He teleports you there, and then you have to teleport you both. There's no other way for us to work that I can think of for him to make this deal work the way he wants to work.
Right. So wait, I'm a little confused. He's telling me to teleport to a city, as in nearby.
You name the city, he'll teleport you to the city. You both to the city.
Right.
But then because it's the memory in your head, right?
No, I know. But when he says teleport me to a city, that's an offer to find one of the sites.
No.
Oh, he's talking about
that is what will seal this deal, and then he will give you the maps. Once he is at that lake, he will give you the maps.
Right. He doesn't realize that we could teleport there right now.
You probably couldn't.
It should be within, was it 1,000 miles?
No, you don't have 1,000 mile. Even the most powerful wizards don't have 1,000 mile range.
I forget if it's 100 or 1,000. These
It's
two things mix up in my head very easily. Let me find my spells.
that's probably not. That's probably not at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 1,000 pounds. I always forget that I can teleport 1,000 pounds.
You know what? It'll probably help you if you just change that to 200 pounds.
200 pounds. So my radius at level 10 is 150 miles.
Yeah.
Right, which is definitely not. But it is within range of Alamar, which is where we were. Okay.
150 miles? I don't think that's in range of that. Well, it's in. Well, the lake is in range of Alamar. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant you were right now.
No, right. Understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I tell him. So to get more out of him, I would say, if you tell me, the rest of the story, then I'll teleport you there if you tell me the rest of the story. I don't. Breeze is such a weird situation, right? As soon as I teleport him there, he doesn't really need me anymore.
I mean, but it's true. The other way is true for him, right? If he tells you everything,
yeah.
And so
here I am going to try that, right? So you have me surrounded by your guards. I'm in your, complete, carriage here. You'll tell me the rest of the story, and I will teleport you to the lake. Teleport you to the, agree to that.
What is the rest of the story other than the locations?
Well, I asked,
an attempt by them to create a global magical effect that would unlock everyone's ability to store magical power within them. And that I gleaned from the records I found at the various locations, as well as some of the beginning rune work they had put around your precious 9-star emblem.
Right, but not the names of any still alive members, right? Any ongoing efforts that you read of.
Each of the sites I found had not been used in years. I had to bring a broom just to uncover the runes.
Oh, that sucks.
Either the effort was abandoned or it was ended violently. You have no way of knowing this being so young, but it was a ridiculously ambitious plan. And based on the rune work that I saw, they were nowhere close to achieving it.
Okay. And then, I ask about the, locations of the sites. Have them written down.
You'll have the maps to every city I visited.
Okay.
It'll be a few years out of date, a decade or two, but the cities, each city map with the location marked
Okay. Let's see. Any other edge I could have to try to ask him about that. But well, Oshakra, shake his little, crab legs. I suppose. I'm thinking if there's any other like alternative Brise could do, but I mean, yeah, I have to. She is kind of honorable, It does make sense that I would allow him to do that. However, I think my next plan of action would then go to the rest of the Council of the Wise and inform them what happened. Seems like the best option.
Yeah, I'll probably be pleased. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I can stretch the truth, He's like, oh, he forced me to go there. Let me. Anyhow, yeah, I don't think there's anything else I would ask of him then.
So he leans forward and he says, "Are you ready to name the city?"
I am, and that city is Yo Mama. His mother's name was Alamar.
No one knew. No one knew.
I named the city. Alamar is the place. From there, I can teleport you to. Make sure my familiar is close by. She would be in here too,
What do they call it? He leans out the window, yells that they're departing, tells the driver to make for the edge of the city. And do not spare the whip. You guys are galloping. I mean, you hear people screaming out of the way of the.
Can you tell me the name of the pub so I can find my horse later?
You don't need a horse. I mean, this is Oshakra who's just convinced you to end the world. You're not going to need the horse.
Oh.
And this is our last stream for the year.
Man, there's so much that could be. He's interested in demons, right? He could reawaken Verilag and like force her to tell him about how to trap demons. Oh. I'm having. Oh man, what like a thing? She was like, "Yeah, your cold is basically never came to fruition," and I guess that doesn't really, because I did according to the faith is like these sites were created. I didn't know what state they were in, so hearing that it wasn't successful, I guess wouldn't get me down too much. I probably still would be like excited. It's like, okay, we have a place. This work can continue. But I guess it is a twist on what I possibly expected. So
you ride for some minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've never been in a carriage going this fast. I mean, it's insane. He is just looking out the window. He is sort of lost in thought. There's not even a smile on his face. Soon, any sign of lights and so on pass by. Though,
I mean, yeah. The problem is, Quinn. Any attempt I make against him or to escape will probably make an enemy of him, and definitely one of the most powerful wizards I've I've come across.
He yells at them to stop after a certain amount of country, rural indications, and um, he Oshekra is very heavy set, Jack. He's got a very full face. Let me see if I've got his description rolled up. He's such an old character. It was before I was doing. That was the wrong thing to hit on. Here we go. Late 50s, fairly handsome, but really heavy. He has, it's 5 metallic spidery legs that support him in a bowl-like platform. So his gut and his lower abdomen sort of sit in this. When he stands normally, he's, at the normal regular extension of those legs, you see him most commonly, he's about 7 feet high. Light brown eyes, graying, thick, dark blue hair. He's clean shaven, but heavily jowled. And tends to use a wand.
Two in the world, just as it's been saved. 2, 3. I'm doing this for you, audience. I'm creating drama. I'm creating another plot for you all to follow.
He says he climbs out and gestures for you to get out. He takes out his wand. He grabs from a lockbox on the back of the carriage. He grabs several pouches and slings them over his beefy shoulders. He studies the area around him, and you're like, oh, because he's got to do that too. He has to have a memory of where we're going. He nods to himself, lifts his wand. Are you willing?
As willing as I can be, yes. No, but do it anyway.
There's a flash of light. And you appear. It's on the west coast, so there's actually more light. I'd have to think about how that works.
Right.
How far one has to go, But you're in a courtyard. You can smell the sea air. You hear seabirds. The city chatter sounds different. You hear a lot more facts, almost no goblin, just you're like, oh my gosh, dramatic changes,
Yeah.
He takes out this ancient book. It is, there's a third of a corner just gone, like it is just tattered. Yeah. And he takes it out and he lets it go and it floats before you. He says, insurance. In case there are more defenses than you were aware. I am willing.
All right. Then I try to teleport us to a far enough distance with the lake in sight.
So you choose probably the demon. It's about halfway down.
Right.
The
Undead
skeleton.
skeleton, yeah.
Yeah. And so roll to cast. I assume you're going to use your
Paneling helm.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just take it out. Might as well put it on, I guess.
Well, actually, no. I use my water skin.
Okay.
A lot less epic, but
That's true.
It's better. 99. That's
a beautiful roll again and add it.
Okay, plus 35.
So only 5 exhaustion.
Quinn said, "Wait, stop. Too late, Quinn."
Yeah, the chat does not control the pace of the game.
Maybe if you donated money, we would have.
That's right. Maybe. This better be about toast, Quinn, or otherwise I am not interested in the question. Oh, wait. Is it Oshekra? Can we trust him? Is that it?
Also, just to stop for a moment, people that say, "Wait, stop. I have a question." Just say the question. We'll stop and answer it. Now you've embarrassed everybody.
You've embarrassed everybody. Okay. So, yeah. We know what you, Quinn. We know what you donate. You donate aqua dumps everywhere you go. And now roll to aim.
This is the important one. That's a 17.
Well, let's hope you didn't teleport up to the lake.
Into the lake.
You did not. You teleported much further away. Your time and your typing, Quinn. By some of the tablets on the ground.
Okay. I meant to do that, and it's better safe than sorry.
He grabs you just for a moment and watches the tome as it floats between you. He says, "Good, we're safe." He takes the tome away, puts it back in his pouch. And he says, "Where to?" The lake is not within sight.
Yeah, so I start by memory, going toward the lake.
You guys, go down this big clearing.
It's funny. Plesh will also know the location of the lake because he saw my memory. He knows my memory. He's passed on to fall. Well, yeah. if he can remember to teleport there. Let's see. Mr. Krabs gets teleport. Quinn, you're a little more unhinged than usual. Are you doing some pre-Christmas drinking? Or?
Pre-Christmas drinking. Every year for Quinn, the entire year for Quinn is pre-Christmas drinking.
So from the 25th to the 31st, he's completely sober.
That's the only time you will find him sober or dressed, for that matter. Those are the only 2 times. So as this lake comes within sight, a broad grin forms on Oshekra's face, and he nods. And he turns to you and he says, "Now for your reward." And that's where we'll end.
No.
For the year.
Now for your reward. Oh, wow. That's a great ending.
So there you go, guys. Our last one of the year. Um, Little twist there at the end.
That is
But
interesting.
as always, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. We'll be back January 5th. It's been a fun year. It looks like we're averaging 36 or 37 a year. So I think that's a really good thing. Gives us some breaks, both for my health and just for family and vacation stuff. So I think that's what we'll try to keep going. And so we've got an anniversary coming up for Brise's Tale. That'll be in, I think it's late March is when that happens. And sometime, I guess, probably in, I guess, late November or something, maybe early November, we'll probably hit episode 100.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty exciting. So we'll just keep going and everything. So thanks for everything this year. I hope you have a great holiday. And just say goodbye to these lovely people. Give them some well wishes, buddy.
Yeah. Well, the world is still going on for now. It hasn't ended yet,
That's right.
despite my best efforts. Yeah, we hope to see you in 2023 with some more Karandrin. Have a
Yes,
good holidays, good everything, and yeah, stay safe out there.
that's right. We'll see you next year, guys.